everyone, I'm Larissa from Hikvision Headquarters Tina Stream. Welcome back to our CGSP CCTV courses. Today, we're going to talk about the common troubleshooting of typical CCTV system. Let's take a quick look of our training objectives. We want that after today's course, you can have an understanding of video security mode and master basic troubleshooting methods. Except that, we hope you can learn about device log analysis and be familiar with common problem cases in CCTV system and know how to solve it. Here is the main contents of our course. We'll lead you to know about video security mode, show you the basic troubleshooting process and methods. Then we'll show how to query the device log and find out where the problems are. Finally, we'll introduce the practical troubleshooting methods to the problem cases. We hope that after our course, you have ability to solve problems in actual cases. So let's start with the video security module. In this chapter, we want you to know about basic analog and network video security system, to see what kind of devices in these systems and how they work together. In the analog video security system, we have main devices as following: analog cameras for image capture. The coaxial cables are widely used for transmission analog signal. In the system, we also have digital video recorder, DVR, which works for encoding, decoding, storage management, triggering alarm. We use it in analog system for live view playback and central management. For the whole system management, we usually use the remote website of backend device or client software. Except analog cameras, DVRs also support access to network cameras to realize remote control and live view. Here is the basic topology of network video security system. Comparing NVRs and DVRs, we can find out that network video recorder does not encode image signal. It only works for storage, decoding, management, triggering alarm. The encoding process has been finished in IPC. Network camera works for image capture and encoding, and all the network devices should be connected through network cable with a switch, so that all the devices can be accessible to each other. For the whole system management, we usually use the remote website of backend device or client software. Next, we want to show you the construction of network camera to help you to know how the IPC works. Network cameras mainly include lens, sensor, image signal processor, digital signal processor, and other modules. The optical signals is collected by the lens, converted into an electrical signal by the sensor, processed by ISP and processed by DSP to form a video kill stream. The kill stream can be streamed and interactively operated through various network protocols. In the period of intelligent monitoring, the DSP module not only performs coding and compression, but also integrates some intelligent algorithm to perform video content analysis, which means VCA, based on the kill stream and generate alarm events. While you have known the basic video security system, I believe you have a certain understanding of the work principle of each device in the video security system. These are the necessary foundations for troubleshooting. Okay, now let's see how to troubleshoot a problem and what's the basic process. First thing in troubleshooting is problems positioning, which means confirming where the problem is. When a problem occurs in a system, the first step should try to locate the problem to a specific device or a single device link through on-site cross-testing. For example, if the client cannot receive the IPC alarm on the NVR, then the NVR and IPC can be added separately through the client to test whether NVR does not upload the alarm or the IPC does not upload, so as to narrow the scope of the problem and facilitate the next step of troubleshooting. For another example, if the analog camera is connected to the DVR and there is no picture, then the control variable methods can be used to test which component in the system is faulty. As we have said, problem positioning is necessary to accurately locate the smallest link. So let's take the follow network video security system as an example to see what the smallest link is in a system. In this system, we mark different links from number 1 to 9. Link 1 means cameras and the camera access protocol and encoding. So if we locate the problem is in link 1, which means there's a problem with the camera hardware or the camera access protocol and encoding. And we can see in this system, we also have number 248 means network camera. Link 3 is switch and network segment environment. Link 5 means NVR and the firmware of NVR. Link 6 is VG and HDMI cable. Link 7 is monitor. Link 9 means software and client or web component and browser. Except the problem positioning, cross-testing is equally important to troubleshooting. Before cross-testing, it is necessary to clarify that the problem is located in which workflow. Taking the network video security system as an example, the most common 3 workflows are as follows. First workflow is fetching streaming from local camera from link 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. Second one is remote fetching streaming from camera from link 1 to 2 to 3 to 8 to 9. Third workflow is remote fetching stream from NVR from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, again to 5 to 4 to 3 to 8 to 9. After locating the workflow where the problem is located, cross-testing can be performed in each link of the process. For example, if the image cannot be previewed during local access, you can follow the workflow of local access to perform cross-testing on each link to locate the problem. Compare and replace the camera, or replace the network cable, replace the switch, replace the NVR, and so on. Okay, we have known about the basic troubleshooting process. Now we want to introduce basic troubleshooting methods to you, which also be called 3 troubleshooting weapons. There are reboot, restore or default, and upgrade. For example, NVR or DVR suddenly crashes. You can try power off and restart. The camera suddenly has abnormal image. The color tone is wrong, or the image is smeared. You can try to reset the camera. If the function of the device is lacking or the performance is insufficient, you can try upgrade to the latest version firmware. But let's take a look at where to reboot the devices to solve problems. Taking Hikvision camera as an example, when you log into the website of camera, click Reboot can restore the device. First, you need to log in IPC website. Go to Configuration, System, find Maintenance option, Upgrade and Maintenance, then click Reboot button to restart IPC. The backend device can also click the reboot on the local interface of device. If the device crashes and cannot be logged in, and the local interface cannot be used as well, you can turn off the hardware switch on the device panel or cut off the power supply, and then restart the power supply. If reboot does not help with the problem, we can try to restore or default the devices. Restore means reset all the parameters except IP address and user's information to the default settings. Default means restore all parameters to default settings. For example, in the website or local interface of Hikvision device, select default to restore to the factory settings. You need to log in website. Go to Configuration, find Maintenance, go to Upgrade or Maintenance. Click Default button. If the function of the device is lacking, we can try to upgrade the device. For example, log into the website of Hikvision device, select Browse to find the installation package path, and click Upgrade to upgrade. For backend devices, you can also put the installation package in the flash first, and then perform the upgrade on the local interface of the device. Mastering the 3 basic troubleshooting methods. Next, we want to talk more about analysis of device log. Because the 3 basic troubleshooting methods cannot always solve all the device problems, then the device log analysis can help us to figure out where the fault is. First of all, we need to know what is device log. The device log is an information record during the operation of the device. According to the device log, a lot of effective historical information can be queried, including the running status of the device, exceptions, event alarms, and so on. For example, Hikvision device logs are mainly divided into four main types: alarm, exception, operation, and information. Each main type also contains many detailed subtypes. So let's start with the alarm log. Alarm log, which mainly records the main events received and generated by the device. You can search and troubleshoot all alarm event records in this type. For example, Hikvision device log. After selecting alarm for the main type, the subtype can filter each specific event for precise search. We have alarm input or output, and so on. Exception log, which mainly records some abnormal problems in the operation of the device itself, such as hard disk error, illegal logging, camera disconnection, and so on. After selecting exception as the main type, the subtype can filter each specific exception situation, which is convenient for problem location. Operation log type, which mainly records the human configuration operation behavior records in the process of daily use of device, including local interface operation and remote terminal control. After selecting operation, the subtype can filter each specific operation type, like reboot, power on, add IP camera, and so on. Information log, which mainly records some status information triggered by the device during operation, such as HDD information, start record, ANR record started, and so on. After selecting information as the main type, the subtype can filter the specific type of status information. Well, after knowing what each type of log is, let's do some common log query analysis. First is searching alarm log of NVR. For example, Hikvision backend device in the application scenario of face detection. If you need to check whether the device has received an alarm for face capture, you can select the main type as alarm and the subtype as face detection started. Then you can find out which channel of device received the face captured alarm and when. For searching exception log of NVR, if the device cannot record the video, it is suspected that it may be a hard disk error. You can select the main type as exception and select HDD error or HDD full as a subtype. You can find out whether the problem is caused by this reason. Next is to search operation log of NVR. During the operation of the device, sometimes it is suspected that someone else has used the device or modified the parameters, so you can search the operation log. For example, if you want to know if someone has played back the video on the local interface, you can select the main type of operation and the subtype to select local playback by time. You can query which user performed the local playback operation and when. When you need to query some operating status of the device, you can select the information log. For example, if you want to know whether the NVR is running the recording function normally, you can select the main type as information and subtype as start record to query which channel started recording and when. Searching IPC log is very similar to the NVR. The IPC log, like the NVR log, contains information such as alarm, exception, and operation. The difference from NVR is that IPC logs needs to rely on extended storage, and IPC logs can only be viewed when an SD card is inserted. It is located in configuration, system, maintenance, and log. On the IPC web page, for example, when the NVR is connected to the camera, it is found that the camera intelligent event alarm cannot be received on the NVR. After exporting and retrieving the IPC log, it is found that the alarm event is recorded in the IPC log, so the positioning is that the IPC alarm is generated normally, and the NVR reception false. The next step, check whether the interaction between the IPC and NVR is abnormal. We can also search security audit log of the IPC. The security audit log contains important information records related to device security, located on the IPC web page. Configuration, system, maintenance, then go to upgrade and maintenance, and then security audit log. For example, if the user finds that someone has tampered with the configuration parameters of the IPC, and after checking the security audit log, it is found that a remote IP address has illegally logged into the device, and the problem can be solved by enabling IP address filter on the IPC webpage to filter out the IP address. The last one is exporting device log from website. Usually, the number of logs displayed on the interface is limited. If you need to analyze a large number of logs or provide them to others, you can export the logs first. Log into the IP address of the device, select log, and filter the log types. For example, select exception for system exceptions and alarm for event alarms. There is one thing we need to mention that only exports up to 2,000 logs on the display interface. It is recommended to use export all to export all the log content that meets the conditions. Well, in the final chapter of this course, we want to introduce to you some common problems in video security system and the troubleshooting methods of them. Hope this can help you solve similar problems on site. Case 1. Camera parameters were illegally tampered with. If the customer found that the brightness or sharpness of the camera has changed, and the customer confirms that he has not modified the relevant parameters, check the camera log as shown in the figure below. Someone has modified the camera-related brightness or resolution parameters, confirming that the password was accidentally leaked to others. The best and quick solution is changing password as soon as possible. Case 2. Snow-like patterns appear on camera night images. When you meet the phenomenon like this, the camera image is normal during the day, but there will be snow-like spots in the night image, as shown in the figure below. This problem is common in the dome IPC used outdoors. When dust accumulates on the dome cover, a large amount of infrared light will be reflected by the dust into lens after the camera turns on the infrared light at night, resulting in infrared overexposure. The efficient solution to the problem is wiping the dome cover with a clean cloth while avoiding scratching the dome cover. The third case of front-end common problems, the camera will occasionally restart abnormally by itself. When you meet the camera restart abnormally on its own for about a week, it may be a crash caused by a software exception. We suggest you log into the official website of Hikvision to obtain the latest firmware of the corresponding model to upgrade, or try to restore the factory to solve the problem. For the backend devices, we also listed some common problem cases. Case 1. The backend device has abnormal channel status on HyperConnect. Usually, the phenomenon is like the device has 9 channels, but only 7 of them are shown online on the HC. The reason may be like device channel status abnormally uploading to the HyperConnect server. On the one hand, you can try to restart the device. The process of restarting the device is process of re-reporting the state of the device, and it will return to normal after re-reporting. On the other hand, you can upgrade the device to the latest firmware version to avoid uploading channel status field caused by some known bugs in the old version. Case 2 for backend device. The backend device user password is changed. The phenomenon is password of the device user is suddenly changed, and the login cannot be successful. By checking log, you can see that someone has modified the parameter configuration of the device by logging into the device locally or remotely for many times. Since the password modification information is relatively private, the log will not directly record why the password was modified, but use security instead of the password modification, just like the figure below. In this situation, it is recommended to change the device password to prevent other personnel from logging into the device and changing the device password without permission. Case 3. HDDs of backend device are not recognized. When you meet a situation like this, use the same HDD to replace different SATA cables, HDD power cables, and different HDD slots for cross-testing. After actual testing, it is found that when one of the SATA cables is used, the problem can be reproduced, indicating that the HDD cannot be recognized caused by the problem of the SATA cable. So you just need to change the SATA cable, and the HDDs can be recognized. That's all for the common troubleshooting of video security system. Hope through today's course, you have mastered the basic troubleshooting methods and know about the specific solutions to the common problems in video security system. Thanks for your attention. See you in the next time.